Good morning, YouTube viewers and subscribers. Haven't really made any run videos in the last few days because, well, a lot of reasons. There's been some weather problems and things like that. I just got back from a endoscopy procedure. I guess that's how you pronounce that. So I really wanted to run a video or an engine today, but I'm kind of still shaking off the effects of the anesthesia, so it's probably not a good idea for me to operate an engine, although I really want to, since I've got the rest of the day off and I really don't have anything to do. So I figured I'd just create a boring video and post that, and maybe that'll give me something to do for a few minutes. But so the title of this video is Odds and Ends, and the odds and ends I've got are right here on my table right now. And I just sent an email to Oliver because I wanted to thank him again for this box. Now I've got the door off because I was going to charge this battery up. Those of you viewers and subscribers that suggested this setup many times, several times, you know, thank you for that. I mean, even though I poo-pooed it initially and I wasn't on board with it, but damn, you know, I really like it. The only thing I'm still having an issue with is I always forget which way to advance the throttle, especially with all the different engines I run, because some, you know, the full throttle is this way, some is this way. And actually the last engine I ran, I think it was the Servo, or not the last one, but one of the last ones, the Servo 300T engine. Was really having some issues because I was still having some binding with the clevis. The hole wasn't wide enough, and then that was really a flimsy throttle rod. So I've got a stiff rod, a solid rod that I'm going to be using in certain instances in the future. But I did like that the softness of that one rod was allowing it so I wouldn't overdrive a servo. So that's one of the problems that I'm going to have with this, is forgetting which direction to go and that type of thing. But man, I love this box. This thing is freaking awesome, and I will always continue to use this setup. I don't care how much longer it takes. It's just so much easier to operate an engine that way. So that was item number one. Item number two is this Como engine. It's a Como 40 now. This is an engine that I featured, not really featured, but I got in a box of, I think it was the last mystery box video I did, and it was supposedly just a bunch of junk engines. I think there was an HP engine, an HP 40 engine. I haven't really done much of anything with those engines. I cleaned them up, and I think there was a Super Tiger 61 that was in horrible shape. And in fact, it is junk. This Como 40 feels like it should be a runner. I don't think the bearings feel all that healthy, but for the number of runs I'm going to do on it, I don't think it's really going to matter. I managed to find, or my HP or HB 40/60 exhaust fits this thing perfectly, because that was one of the concerns I had, is this didn't come with an exhaust at all. This fits perfectly. I've got the carb set up using my normal carb setup method, and it's got really good compression. Now it's got what appeared to be, to me, to be a Super Tiger plug in the top, but it has an idle bar on it, and I'm really not that familiar with Super Tiger plugs and if they had idle bars or not, or if the idle bar is necessary. So when I do run this, I wanted to run this today, and maybe later on when I'm a little more aware of what's going on, I will. I don't know. I wanted to run this engine because I haven't done anything with it. I may have, man, I don't think I've done anything with it at all, because it seemed like a runner. I've got a 10.6 prop on here. I want to run this thing. If for some reason it doesn't run, or it doesn't run right, I'm not going to waste much time with this, because this engine isn't really worth all that much, but I do want to at least try and get a run out of it. So the next thing I've got here is, I've got the, let me zoom in just a hair maybe. I've got the repaired OS 48 surpass crankcase here. It's fully cured, ready to go. I ended up buying a whole new exhaust from, what's it, Mike Goes Flying. So this is an ASP or Magnum exhaust system, and it threads perfectly into the head, so that works well. The crankshaft I ordered was coming from mainland China, and I've been tracking it, and it looks like it's supposed to be here on Friday. Now, if it's one of those things where it requires a signature, then I probably won't get it until Saturday because I'll have to go and sign for it, but we'll have to wait and see. So the good news is that this weekend I should be able to get this engine reassembled and maybe even get a run-in of this engine. Now, I did not buy new bearings. The bearings that came with this engine were not in bad shape, and I found a couple others used bearings that are in good enough shape to at least do a few runs on this engine. So that's the plan. If this holds and it does alright, then maybe I'll decide to put new bearings in it, but otherwise I don't really know. It's not like I'm going to run this engine all that much. But that's the status of that. I'm going to leave that there for just a moment. The other thing I did last weekend was the Servo 300T video I shot. I shot it with the flex exhaust. Now, I think the first time I ran that engine, or a couple times, I actually used the exhaust from my Servo 270T. What I did was I went and I purchased some copper tubing and fittings and stuff like that, and I made my own exhaust to go for this 300T engine. So it's going to go, oh, it'll actually be something like this. I don't really have anything. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do, if they're going to actually be in contact with each other, if I'm going to kind of leave them separate or not. But so this, I don't think it's going to sound really that much different than the 270 exhaust, but we'll see. I think, and I don't know all the sizes of this piping. I bought these exhaust nuts, and I just took them with me and kind of grabbed tubing from Lowe's and just was trying to fit things together. And as you know, if any of you have actually done any of this kind of stuff from Lowe's, you go to there's tons of these little bins that say what the part is, and half the time you look in the bin and that isn't what the freaking part is anyway. It's been moved or opened up or whatever. So it was really kind of not the most pleasant experience trying to find these parts to make this. And then of course I did not shoot video. I've got a couple of pictures that I took, but I didn't shoot video because quite honestly I'm not all that good at doing brazing. Because let me grab this real quick. I was using my little micro torch, and sometimes I'd set it up like this and hold parts, and then of course I'd get my hand in front of the torch. And bottom line is, this was a cuss fest to the extreme. I probably invented new cuss words actually making this exhaust, and for no reason other than I was bored and didn't have anything to do that weekend. So hopefully this will sound alright. I went and got, instead of using that high temp grill paint that I've used before, I actually went and got some real engine paint from an automotive store for engine blocks and stuff. Hopefully it says it'll hold up to 500 degrees, and hopefully the end of the exhaust here doesn't exceed 500 degrees. I don't know that I've ever put a thermometer or temp probe on that or anything, but hopefully it'll hold up. So these are just some of the items that I wanted to just briefly share with you guys here. I'm going to put this back on charge here for my kind of odds and ends video. And again, I just want to shout out Oliver. Thank you for this servo box, and thank you viewers and subscribers for suggesting this setup, because in all honesty it turns out I really love it. I like it a lot. It's cool. So anyway, thank you all for watching, and hopefully here in the next few days we'll at least get a video of this Como 40 going at some point. I know my Servo 300T videos don't get a whole lot of views, but I do want to at least run that engine with this new exhaust and give it a shot and see how it sounds. So thank you for watching.